want to change the world. There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world. There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. He wasn't much to look at. I wouldn't call him fun. He was 12 years old and I was just 11. My friends thought I was crazy, but my innocence was won by the boy who introduced my heart to heaven. He was the smartest boy in the whole 6th grade, and I couldn't believe I'd found him. Though his teeth were in braces and his dockers were frayed, I just wanted to be around him. There are men who make you lose yourself or fill you with regret, but Adam won my lifelong love because he played the clarinet. Do-do-do, 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 do-do-do. I wanted nothing more than to share a stand with this prodigy of perfection. I dreamt of after-school practice with the junior high band where we'd sit in the woodwind section. So I marched into the band room and became a devotee, for Adam was my lifelong love, and this would make him notice me. Do-do-do, do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. I practiced. God, did I suck. Adam gave lessons. I was in luck. All the scales he made me learn by heart. I had never seen him look so cute. I told him that his music was an art. He told me that his girlfriend played the flute. I was the dumbest girl in the whole 5th grade, and now everyone else had seen it. I announced I quit the band. My decision had been made, but I wished that I didn't mean it. For the music had a hold on me, much more than any fling. I knew I'd found my lifelong love, and Adam didn't mean a thing. Marching band was not for me, but in the choir I could sing do-do-do, 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 do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. I was the smartest girl in the whole 5th grade.
Thank you, that was lovely. Smartest girl in the whole 5th grade, that's pretty good. Good morning, I'm Elizabeth Vander Putten, and I'm honored to be a member of the Board of Trustees. It's my pleasure to welcome you, particularly our newcomers, to this, our first service of the fall. We are a community that seeks to be inclusive, welcoming whoever you may be, whatever your sexual or gender identity, race, background, economic status, abilities or disabilities, seen or unseen. We come for community, to find inspiration, and to live with purpose. After so many years as a student and then as a teacher, September and the fall always strike me as the new year, a new beginning, a chance to learn something new, even from our mistakes, as we will hear during the service, to make new friends and to participate in new activities. I hope you'll be able to participate in the many activities offered by UUCA to make friends, to grow in spirit, and to serve the community. In particular, this coming Saturday, UUCA will sponsor a gathering of organizations and individuals that support, advocate, and celebrate the LGBTQIA children and youth. The new affinity groups are a great opportunity to make friends. Those of you who are, I'm a member of the Savvy Seniors, which has already met and had a lot of fun. And the covenant groups allow us to deepen our spirituality and religion. If you are in the sanctuary, please join us afterwards for coffee, and this time for cake, again celebrating our newcomers. And welcome. Thank you.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for that welcome and for your service on the board. And I am so pleased to welcome all of you. I am Reverend Amanda Poppy. My pronouns are she, her, and I am privileged to serve as the senior minister of this congregation. I'm also grateful this morning to be sharing worship, sharing the chancel space with Christina Graff, she, her, who is our worship associate this morning, and with my friend and colleague, Reverend Gretchen Haley, she, her. Gretchen is the senior minister at Foothills Unitarian Universalist in Fort Collins, Colorado. And I think that Gretchen thought that she was just coming out to visit me, but obviously I put her to work. Some of you who are alert listeners notice that I frequently will use call to worships that are written by Reverend Gretchen Haley. And so today we will have a call to worship, a Reverend Gretchen Haley call to worship that is also said by Reverend Gretchen Haley. It's going to be very fancy. I am joined as well by our director of music, David Mann, and we are so pleased to have Kate Kelly singing with us this morning. Kate has been connected with UUCA through our Chalice Theater program for many years, and it is a joy to have your voice in the sanctuary. Cameron and Art are back there on AV, helping to round out our worship team, and all of you are part of creating our service this morning simply by being here or there and bringing your presence. So if you are watching online, I hope you will say hello in the chat. Let each other know where you're watching from or how you're feeling this morning. If you are here in the sanctuary, will you turn toward each other, especially someone you do not already know, and share a greeting?
Begin here, not as a way of starting over or washing everything away from the past, as if any of our lives are ever a blank slate, but begin here, in a baptism built from every brave choice that led you to this moment, this place. Your own choices, the choices of everyone who is not you, every stumbling sorrow, every gift of knowing and being known here, where we inhale and exhale as if we were the first people to ever have lungs. Awestruck at this incredible invention to turn through time in community, receiving and releasing. Begin here on this mossy earth, blooming yellow and purple mushrooms from lawns where trees might have been, maybe still are. Begin with ancestors and anger at the world that is not yet, but still held in your imagination as right and real. Begin with every urgency and also every patience, every small move, every large leap. Begin with rest and relationship, with a people and in prayer, in play, and in power. Begin like a beginner that is clumsy, confused, but still proud at the progress, slow, and sometimes moving in reverse, but still moving, proud at the trying and the practice, at all this waking up to all this beauty and this brokenness. Begin in the trees and in the fog, in the rain and the river. Begin with the vision that is right here, always possible, together. Come, let us worship together.
As we light today's candle of compassion, we honor those who suffer from systems of violence and forces of conflict, whether directly or indirectly. And we mourn those humans near and far whose lives have been unjustly lost, and we witness the pain of their loved ones. We ache as we see how violence and harm beget yet more violence and harm, with the reverberations reaching ever further, inviting prayers to the universe that humanity will find another way to resolve its conflicts. We also hold in our hearts all those whose lives have been cut short or upended by the most recent devastating hurricane, and we strengthen our resolve to protect our planet against the increasing rate and toll of natural disasters made worse by the climate crisis. May all those who are struggling and grieving feel the warm embrace of our loving care.
Christina, thank you for holding the systems of violence, the loss that reverberates through the country and around the world. We hold two losses that are close to our hearts in this community. I want to share with all of you that Kit Britton, who last week had a stroke and was placed in hospice, died on Friday. And his spouse shares that he died peacefully, as was his wish. We send care to Anne and to her children and Kit's children who have gathered. Plans for a memorial service will be shared later as they come to be. For now, we send love and gratitude for the cycle of life of which we are a part.
As we light our chalice, please join me in speaking the words printed in your order of service. We gather together as a community of memory and hope to celebrate life and its infinite possibilities for love. We light this chalice as a symbol of the light within every human heart. May our individual sparks meet and merge, bringing both light and warmth to the world. And now please join in singing hymn number 298, Wake Now My Senses. We'll be singing verses 1 and 2.
1 and 2, that's good. 1 and 2. And I want to invite any of my younger friends who might like to join me on the chancel for a story, oh good, to come and join me. Nice Converse. Come on up. I'm glad that you came up along with your unicorn. Oh yes, fantastic. Uni, your unicorn uni.
Unicorn princess.
Because you are a unicorn princess.
Unicorn harvester princess.
Oh, a unicorn harvester princess. Got it. I'm so glad that you are here because you are able to see what I have in my pocket this morning, which is what, do you think? Any guesses? What does it look like? A diamond. Yeah. Uh-huh. What you got? A diamond. You also have a diamond harvesting unicorns, and it's a diamond of our hearts. We can imagine it a diamond. What's real? What's truth? No one knows.
That might actually just be a glass prank.
It might be a glass prank. And that could just be our wisdom lesson for the morning, but it's not. Because it might be. But I would like to tell you a story about a real diamond. This is a diamond that was, this story was told many, many years ago, hundreds of years ago. And it's told about a wealthy king who had a diamond as big as his fist, so actually much bigger than this diamond. Yes, exactly. And it was perfect, this diamond. You have a diamond too. This diamond was perfect. He loved it so much. He had many wonderful treasures, this king, but the diamond was the best one of all. He liked to just sit and stare at his perfect, beautiful, flawless diamond. Except one day, while he was staring at that diamond, he realized there was a scratch on it. Do you know this story? There was a scratch on it. Can you see it? And he thought, oh no, this perfect, beautiful, flawless diamond has a scratch. I have to get it solved right away. And he called all of the diamond cutters in the country, right? All the diamond cutters to come so that they could polish away the scratch and make the diamond perfect again. None of them could do it. One by one, they looked at the diamond, and one by one, they said, I am so sorry to the king. I cannot polish away the scratch on your diamond. If I even try, it would break. Yes, thank you very much. However, only one diamond cutter knew what to do. That diamond cutter said to the king, leave this diamond with me for 2 weeks, and I will bring it back to you more beautiful than ever. But you can't check what I'm doing, right? Is that right, Jaja? Is that how it goes? You cannot check how I'm doing during those 2 weeks. Well, the king said, if you return my diamond to me better than it was before, I will let you work on it for 2 weeks, and I promise not to look. And he did. He waited, that king, over those 2 weeks. And the diamond cutter worked and worked day and night on the diamond. Finally, the diamond cutter brought the diamond back to the king.
And there was a flower.
That's right. And right where the flaw had been, that terrible scratch, he had carved a beautiful flower. Yes. And he found that the diamond was even more beautiful than it had been before. And the king, and maybe all of us, learned that even something that is imperfect and flawed, it can still be beautiful. Yes, that's right. It doesn't have to be just like it was before. It can still be beautiful. Thank you. Nothing is perfect. Thank you. Yes, excellent. Thanks, Gaston. Nothing is perfect except perhaps for unicorns. So I want to invite you all to return now to your seats, but don't leave. Uni Eats diamonds? That's amazing and unexpected. Return to your seats, but not to your classes yet, because we would like you to be here as we have a special welcoming of some of our new members this morning. So I'd like to invite Nicole Haley to come up and join us. Oh, no, sorry. We are keeping the children here. So beautiful. Thank you so much. And we just hold the peace to you while you stay in your seats, is how that song goes. Thank you, David. There we go. Christina.
Members to our community. They're entering this collective with hope and possibility in their hearts, promising to participate in and support the ministries of this church. So will the new members please come forward? And also we'll be joined by Nicole Haley, Congregational Engagement Manager on the chancel.
Come right on up. Right here along, like, spread yourselves out along the chancel and just look so happy. That's perfect.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, I've got mine. You can use mine.
Yay. Okay, everyone's here. Welcome. This is really exciting. It's always really fun to do this part of my job, I have to say. The names that I'm going to read today are also printed in your order of service as well. I'll also name people who aren't here today because they're either traveling or this just didn't work with their schedule, but I also want to make sure that we lift their names up in the room, okay? So I'm going to say your name, and I will then pass you your certificate, okay? All right. So, Kate Caldwell, please come forward. Here you go. It's for you. You're welcome, in a little book there. Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Also, may I have Mary B. Shaw. You're welcome, welcome. Olivia Aboshadid. I did it, okay. Here you go. It's for you and her wonderful family. Okay. We also would like Will Lash. Yes.
Supported by family. I like it. Hey, you brought your own cheering section, Will?
All right. And I'm not sure about these. Who did I forget here? Did I forget anyone? Oh, sorry, Barry Creech. Barry Creech and Michaela, please come forward. Here you go. Here you are. I'll give you yours afterwards. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to dig for it right here. Oh, so sorry. Okay, there you go. Here you go. All right. Oh, please, regards. Come down. Yes. All right. Also give you one. Frankel. Amelia Frankel and Monty Frankel. I'll give you this as well. And Shire. And Shire. Thank you. And there we go. All right. There we go. Okay, I'll give you your certificate afterwards. All right. Did I forget anyone? Oh, the Hobbs, Sophia Hobbs and Jennifer Hobbs. Here you go. And I think I ran out of little thingies, and I'll both give you your certificates afterwards because I'll have to dig for them. You are welcome. All right, that's everyone. I had a few surprises for
And
you.
then we have Kevin with us as well. So I think, Nicole, you can find him after.
Yes, I will find afterwards. The folks who for some reason, they were not able to join us today, so we have Lou Sessa, Nancy Landis, Cicely Garber, Kirsten Jacobson and Rob Doherty, Mary and Lee Mathis, Judy Egbert, and Claire and Peter Bugard. So let's give everyone a round of applause. Thank you.
Today, each of you has chosen to embrace the spirit of love, welcome, and understanding that flows through this church. It is my hope that UUCA becomes a beacon of light that illuminates your pathway through life. We welcome you to this community, and we join you in this faith.
Ours is a free church. We have no creeds. Know that you are encouraged to bring your ideas and beliefs to this community to share with others. I invite you to join with us in the religious search for meaning and purpose in life, informed by our individual beliefs and the traditions of Unitarian Universalism.
Will the members of the congregation please rise in body or in spirit and respond with the words found in your order of service? We welcome you as once we were welcomed ourselves. We seek to be open and inclusive and will respect your inherent dignity, your ideas, and your vision in times when it is easy and in times when it is difficult. And new members, will you read your part? Knowing that we may not always live up to our ideals, we ask that you recognize our humanity. And when we fall short, we invite you to stay in relationship with us and help us continue to carry the spirit of love. Congregation, we welcome you as equal members of this congregation, of this faith, and as partners on our shared spiritual journey. Nicole, you have already handed out the new member certificates, and so with great joy, we welcome these new members of our community this morning. You're ready to go down now. No, you're just fine. We'll catch up with you after. There's a ramp behind you if you'd like. Kevin, is that easier? Oh, okay. Okay. What a joy to welcome folks to our congregation. It is good to be together and to be always something different. And now I want to invite our children and their teachers to their classes as we sing to them not peace, not just peace, but also journey along their way. The words are in your order of service.
Of the world you will find, to the wonders of the world you will find.
Will you join me now in a spirit of prayer or meditation, kind of the ways we learn over the course of our lifetime to deal with feelings that we might otherwise express exactly in that way. Take a big, deep breath and find yourself fully here. Maybe put your feet on the ground if they're not both there. You might open your hands in a spirit of receiving. Find a soft gaze or close your eyes as you feel comfortable. Just bring yourself fully into this moment with all of the sounds of life, all of the moments that have brought you here. Let your breath find its way all the way to your belly. And then all the way out. Sometimes I find it's the letting out that we can lose sight. It can move quickly through it. So if that's you, just take that extra time to let it all out. Spirit of life, we spend so much time in defense mode. So much is coming towards us or from inside us. Help us to release and to receive, to be present, to accept this moment as it is. Allow us to hold all the many stories we come here with, stories of joy and stories of struggle, mistakes we've made, pain we've caused or felt, doing wrong or feeling wrong. Here we make space for every feeling, knowing every part of us is loved as we are, held as we are. Here we make space for every feeling and every need, especially the ones that come out sideways. We make space and we take responsibility for all the needs that live in us that are left unattended and that turn instead to harm. Pain that's left untransformed and then gets transmitted. We take responsibility and we make space for those first steps of repair. Just simply paying attention, being honest with ourselves. Spirit, help us to be honest with ourselves, first of all, to hold personally and collectively, to learn everything we can about how to do better, to love more fully all the complexities of this life, all the complexities we hold within ourselves, and to remember it is never too late to begin again. Our hearts overflow with gratitude for every impulse towards beauty and kindness, every gift life is offering to us right now, inviting us to partner and to pray with hope that we might still build together the reconciled world, the healed family, the heart that knows wholeness. Amen, and blessed be.
Today, for our offering, September's Share the Plate partner is Eco Action Arlington. You can read all about Eco Action Arlington in your order of service. They educate, advocate, and act in protection and enhancement of the natural environment of Arlington County. There are many ways to give in support of Eco Action and UUCA. You can read about them in your order of service. I'll ask you to remind me the percent. So, and 70% of donations go to Eco Action Arlington. So now we invite the offering.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. Just gotta see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Been walking my mind to an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. There's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines and pieces on the ground. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. I always thought that I'd see you again.
And now we invite the offering forward for blessing. And as we bless the offering, I invite you to please join me in reading the words that are printed in your order of service. We bless and receive these gifts, opening our hearts to true generosity. Let us be grateful when we give, be it time, talent, or treasure. Let us be grateful for our needs, experience of vulnerability. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts to nurture this congregation. So in thinking about today's service, I have been reflecting on ways that I have been invited to learn. And specifically, I've been thinking about one of my best teachers, which is my mistakes. And what's been circling in my head is a mantra that I learned once from a wise woman. I never like to waste a good mistake. So right now, I'm remembering a mistake I made where I communicated poorly. I was not direct enough, and I was not courageous enough. And there was real fallout. And as may have happened to others of you, my first reaction was I was very defensive. I felt very self-righteous, and I felt like, yeah, maybe I made a mistake, but there was a reason for what I did, and if you just understood the full picture, but that was not the point. The first lesson I had to learn was that the point wasn't the context or the why of the mistake I made. It was that I had caused harm. I'd caused hurt, and I had put a lot of stress on a relationship. And in my initial feelings of shame, mixed with a healthy dose of righteous indignation, I risked wasting a really good mistake. And I risked missing a chance to learn and to grow. So I took a beat, and then I humbly resolved to use this lesson. And the first thing I had to do was I had to do better the next time. I had to change how I was going to approach this kind of situation in the future, how I was going to communicate, and I also had to accept that I wasn't going to get a do-over on this particular instance. I had done some damage. But I could look at the do next time, and that could be one small step toward redemption. And the other thing I had to do was seek to make amends, which you have to cede control to do. I had to accept ownership and then accept the outcome of my attempt to make amends. So I wrote a letter. I apologized for my mistakes. And I also said what I would do and was already doing to avoid making the same mistake again with others in the future. And a final lesson for me then was putting that letter out there without any expectation or hope of what response I might get or what the outcome might be in that case. I had to let that go, own the error, and try and do better. And so my takeaway from this was own up, do better, do not expect to be absolved, and that is how I would learn to avoid wasting a really good mistake.
Christina, thank you so much for sharing that story with us and for being willing to be vulnerable in front of people about the mistakes that you have made, the mistakes we have all made. I went back as I was preparing this sermon to see what I had titled it, because I write the titles many weeks before I actually start working on it. And I saw that I titled this one, Invitation to Learning. And then I realized that's because I thought if I called it, we're going to talk about how you probably make mistakes all the time, it might be a slightly less appealing service, as you scan your website in the morning and decide if you're going to make the trip in. None of us really want to make mistakes a lot. I say that lovely thing in the new member ceremony. Rev CTC wrote those beautiful words about how we're human and we might make mistakes, even we who are the clergy here at this congregation. It's true, and asking you to stay in relationship. But the truth is, what I really want is to never make a mistake, so you don't ever have to forgive me for anything. And so that at the end of my life on my gravestone, it can say, Amanda was perfect, but not annoying about it, which even is more perfect. Hurrah. Unfortunately, if that's really what I'm going for, I am probably in the wrong religious tradition. The thing is, Unitarian Universalism is not a tradition that asks us to be perfect. It's a tradition that is grounded in the idea that we are human, with all the messy, mistakey parts of what that means. Now, here's the thing about mistakes, about being human and making them, and how we can respond. It is easy, I have found, to make a mistake, and unlike Christina, to decide to ignore it. Perhaps you have had that experience as well. I'll make a mistake in conversation, perhaps with a friend or with a coworker, and I'll realize it, and I'll think to myself, well, that was bad, but I think maybe if I talk a little faster and louder, smile kind of bigger, they won't notice that I've made the mistake, and we can just la-di-da go on with our lives as though I never messed up in the first place, and everything is fine right now. And sometimes that works. It works particularly if I want to keep things pretty surface, if I'm not interested in going deeper in that relationship. In fact, I would say it pretty much tells the person that I'm talking to that the relationship doesn't matter all that much to me. Because it is when we are willing to stop and name a mistake that we tell someone that they matter. And honestly, I find that that goes in either direction, both when we stop and name our own mistakes, and also when we take the risk to stop and name someone else's with the hope for repair. It can be hard, of course, to know where to begin. Reverend Gretchen invited us in her call to worship to begin here, to begin in this moment. Now, I don't know about you, but I often find that it's helpful in moments of mistake noticing to have some tools at the ready. Maybe, like me, you have had the experience of making a mistake or seeing that a mistake has happened, but finding that you are in that moment completely unable to articulate anything about what it is other than some version of, The tools that I like most come from a variety of sources. I saw them most recently on a piece created by the Quakers, a piece that invited people into how to hold space, how to make mistakes, and how to seek repair. It invited people to think about 3 words, about ouch, and whoa, and oops. Now, some of you are already perhaps familiar with the idea of thinking about ouch. In fact, here at UUCA, Rev CTC, our Minister of Social Justice and Community Development, who isn't here this weekend, here Rev CTC offers an ouch training, a way for people who facilitate small groups and for religious education teachers to develop their skills in being able to name when something has happened in the group. I liked this expansion of ouch and whoa and oops because it felt to me similar to the times when I notice I have experienced harm, I see harm happening in the circle or the space I'm in, or I have created harm. You know that feeling, perhaps, of experiencing harm. When someone has made a mistake intentionally or unintentionally that hurts you. When they've said something that triggers a past experience, that sits within the space of microaggression, pulling out systemic oppressions. When you feel the pain of that harm. This model invites us in those moments when we cannot necessarily access exactly the right words to simply say, ouch, and then invites everyone else to stop and listen and wonder together how to move toward repair. Ouch, and then in the middle here, whoa. I find this particularly helpful as a facilitator of groups. That moment when something has happened in the space, I didn't create it and it wasn't directed toward me, but I can see that there is something wrong among us in this moment. That someone has said something that has moved our energy off, and I'm not quite sure how to say it, but I just name it. Whoa, I think something happened here. And that invites everyone to stop and listen and wonder together about how we might seek repair. And then there's the one that Christina invited us into this morning with her story, one with which I am intimately familiar. It's the one where we made the mistake. When in the moment you realize you have said something that wasn't right, and you can't figure out how to make it right, and so you just start with, oops, I think I messed up, and invite people to stop and listen and figure out how to move toward repair. I was facilitating a Zoom meeting a couple of years ago. And you know, Zoom meetings are tricky because you lose the energy that you have in a room, in a space together, where you can kind of read people's body language, get a sense of the energy in the air to see how things are going. But the advantage of Zoom meetings is that you are up close and personal with people's faces. And so if you are watching, you can see changes in facial expression. I was facilitating this meeting. I was going blithely along. I was probably trying to make it move quickly and to have it be a little fun for people, you know, because I'm that kind of facilitator, a little bit fun, and I wanted everyone to have a good time. And so I made some offhanded joke about something or other. It's always a joke with me. It's always trying to make it just a little bit fun. And as I said that and I kept going with my script, I noticed one of the Zoom boxes and the way someone's face fell in that moment. And I couldn't figure out how to shift my script right then. I just couldn't do it. I kept going, but the whole time, you know how it goes? I had the voice in the back of my head saying, something just went wrong. I just said something that made that person's face shift, and I am gonna have to figure it out, even as I go through the script and try to keep it fun. During the next break, another advantage of Zoom, I sent a private message, and I said, I feel like something just happened, and I want to check in. And indeed, whatever funny thing I had said was connected really to a much deeper problem in our society, and I had used some sort of humor in a way that was not helpful. We didn't have time in that moment to move toward repair. We needed to create an opportunity for that later. But I was able, when I returned, less quick, less funny, to name for the group overall that I had made a mistake and I was going to seek repair. And then for us to continue with our work together. Ouch. You hurt me. I'm not sure how, but I'll need to say more later. Whoa. Something just happened in this room, and we need to notice it. And oops, I messed up. Can you help me figure it out? Can I figure it out for myself? Ouch and whoa and oops. Tools maybe to help us move forward when we aren't quite sure how to unlock the mistake we know we have made. But there is, I think, a deeper tool as well, one that is grounded in our Unitarian Universalist tradition, in that very early Unitarian history back in the 19th century, back in the original heresy of Unitarianism. The one that rejected the idea of original sin, that said instead all of us are born with the capacity for goodness, and don't forget the capacity to do harm as well. Those early Unitarians and Unitarian Universalists today know that we are neither all good nor all bad, no matter what we have done, but instead we live as humans in the messy, mistakey middle. Our work in Unitarian Universalism is toward transformation, toward growth. toward remembering that a mistake does not make us all bad, but nor do our right actions make us always good. I'll leave you with a final learning, one that has been helpful to me, perhaps in part because it brings in a little humor, but I think in a good way this time. It comes from the DJ and comedian Jay Smooth, and he's talking about how difficult it is for people who identify as white, like me, for people who are white to hear when they have made a mistake, particularly a mistake around race and racism. And particularly people who have taken the classes and are doing the work and feel like they are somewhere on the journey working against systemic racism. He tells the story and grounds it in dental hygiene. He tells us now, perhaps like me, you go to the dentist sometimes, you get your teeth cleaned, they're really sparkling afterward, and then sometime later, could even be months later, someone says to you after lunch, hey, it looks like you have spinach in your teeth. When someone says that to you, do you respond by saying, oh no, it's not possible. I went to the dentist 3 months ago. I couldn't have spinach in my teeth. You must be wrong. No, in fact, when someone tells us that we have spinach in our teeth, we say, wow, you're a friend. I'm going to go to the mirror and check it out and see if I can get it out of there. Jay Smooth invites us, particularly those of us who are white, invites us when we have been told about a harm we have caused, not to say, I couldn't possibly have some racism in there. I went to the training 3 months ago. I think it's sparkling. But instead to say, thanks, you're a friend. I'm going to go check it out in the mirror and see if I can get it out. Even if we flossed that morning, he tells us, spinach can get in our teeth over and over again. Reminds us, I think, that the shame and the idea of being stuck in badness, that too is a product of white supremacy culture. And instead, he invites us to be on the journey of growth and transformation. To know that any one of us, anytime, might experience an ouch, or notice a whoa, or cause an oops. And to remember that our real friends are the ones that tell us when we have spinach in our teeth. May all of us, rooted in our traditions, hope for transformation among all things. May all of us find the courage to say ouch and whoa and oops. May all of us find the courage not to waste a good mistake. I invite you now to join in singing as we rise in body or in spirit the hymn Woe Ya Ya, a hymn about not being sure where we are going, but with hope that we are going together. Will you rise and sing with us?
We are
As we extinguish the chalice, please join me in speaking the words printed in your order of service. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light and warmth it represents. These we carry with us, bringing our sparks of love to the world.
Friends, the road may be muddy and rough, but together we can remember mistakes are everywhere, and each day we are invited to begin here. May it be so.
I am unwritten, can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, pens in my hand, ending unplanned, staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. I break tradition, sometimes my tries are outside the lines. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins.
Feel the rain on your skin.
No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten.